It's not just those from South and Central America who are making their way into this country illegally. In fact, just last month, listen to this, 11 Iranian citizens were detained in Arizona after crossing the border from Mexico. So how do legal immigrants feel about Biden's policies? We continue our immigration series tonight with a panel. Laura Reese, Senior Research Fellow and Homeland Security, or for Homeland Security at the Heritage Foundation. Good to see you. And Amir Fakhravar, Senate Chairman of the National Iranian Congress. Guys, thanks so much for coming on. Laura, we'll start with you. People come here legally from all over the world. They take the time. They go through a tough process. But for a long time, we've seen Central Americans have been able to easily cut the line. Now, as a country, we're incentivizing it. What kind of message does that send to people that want to come here from India and from Africa, the rest of the world?
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it's a slap in the face to those who come lawfully. We have the most generous lawful immigration offerings of the world. And yet, when we open our borders the way the current administration is, it tells folks, come in illegally, cut in line, and eventually you can get a green card. And it really undermines our rule of law.
Certainly does. Amir, tell us your story. You came here. You decided to go through the proper channels to come here and become a citizen. Tell us about how that process went for you.
Thank you for having me, Rob.
Yeah.
I was 16 when I read the biography of President Thomas Jefferson, and I became in love with that guy. And I said, this guy should be the role model of my life. Then I started looking at American values, and I loved this country. And then my student activity was started. Then I went to medical school. I went to law school. I was arrested 19 times in Iran. I was under torture for years, 5 years in prison, 5 years and 3 months, 8 months solitary confinement. They broke more than 50 bones in my body under torture. And my body was destroyed when I came here. Then I escaped prison, escaped Evin prison, the notorious Evin prison, escaped the country, and with the help of some very powerful American friends, because some documentaries have been made about my life and my organizations, student organization in Iran,
wow.
was on air on PBS, then I could come to United States. I couldn't believe it. When I came for the first time in Washington, D.C., I went to the Jefferson Memorial, and I looked at that man and said, oh, my God, I'm here right now. Let's make Iran something like United States. Let's introduce the values of Americans to Iranian people. And for me, with all those views, it took 15 years to become American citizens.
Wow.
And you know what?
That's a story.
And it was very, very hard to go to all these paths. And then the Democrats, they destroyed me and the people like me in this country because because the Republicans, they helped us to come. And, when I came to United States, I couldn't speak English. I couldn't understand. I didn't know what is the war between Republicans and Democrats. But the Democrats didn't care. They just destroyed me. Mother Jones, Laura Rosen, all those far left liberals, they attacked me. They made a lot of stories, fake news about me. I said, what they are doing? I was 16 when I went to jail. And for the 14 years of my life, I was under torture. And then they are saying these things about what they... And when I got the approval to be citizen, you won't believe it. The first email I received was from Democratic Party. And then I didn't want to be part of that party. Then I realized, the immigration, they are sharing the information of all immigrants with the Democratic Party, not with the other party. It's a lot of problems. And then I realized, oh, my God, these people, they are coming, cutting the line in front of us. The reason it took for me 15 years, because it was millions of people in front of me who didn't want to go to the legal path.
And Amir, I get it. I mean, that's just a heck of a story in general. You ate up pretty much all the time we had allotted for the segment, but I'm kind of glad you did, because that's one of the best stories I've ever heard. You just gave it to me on live TV, and I wasn't expecting it. That's a fantastic story, any way you cut it. And thank you for that. Laura, real quick, just to get back into what's happening here at the southern border. It's not just happening at the southern border. You have people coming in, flying in here. A lot of people come from China. They fly here, they stay. You've got these overstays, 676,000 in 2019. That's a lot of people, too. It's just another way to come here illegally, right?
Yes, and actually the overstay rate overshadows the number of immigrants who cross illegally along our southern border. So it, too, is a real problem. And Amir's story was so compelling, but unfortunately the Democrats right now, they are not telling people to come here lawfully. They're just opening the border and encouraging illegal immigration and really doing a disservice to those who wait to come here lawfully.
It's so true. That is all the time we got for this. Laura Reese, Amir Fakhravar. Amir, again, one of the best stories I've heard. Just an incredible story of coming to this country. I thank you so much for telling it to us. Thank you guys both so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
What a story. Wow.